Hello and welcome to GameRomp Easy Mode. This is an easygoing podcast where my wife and I talk about video games and just try to chill out and relax.
Hi, I'm Deanna.
And I'm David. It's a very cozy rainy day today, so
If you hear some sprinkles in the background, that's why.
this is a perfect kind of day to just cuddle up and relax. Listen to the pitter-patter of the rain, even though it's probably not going to show up on the podcast. So, Deanna.
Yes?
It's been an interesting week, again, because, of course, it's Tokyo Game Show week. And it's always easy and fun to just talk about game news and new trailers.
Yeah, trailers are always easy and fun.
There's also other news that doesn't have anything to do with Tokyo Game Show. Should we do that first? Or you know what? No, let's save that for later.
We can do whatever you want.
So let's start with the Tokyo Game Show stuff. One of the first things I saw in regard to this was Kojima's new game.
Oh, that new, I guess, horror game.
Yeah, it's funny because Silent Hill F has just released, and I guess it's getting reviewed pretty well, but it's a weird direction for Silent Hill. We'll have to see what people think of it as more time goes on, but it almost feels like, I don't want to say a Souls-like game, but it's like an action-adventure game with like a lot of heavy emphasis on combat and dodging, which is kind of weird, but whatever.
I mean, Silent Hill games technically have had some combat, but I mean, they weren't like super small on like needing to dodge or run away from things, right?
Well, I guess the new games incorporated dodges. The old Silent Hill games definitely didn't have any dodging.
Okay, I guess not in the like roll around dodging,
Yeah.
but like trying to run around them enemies because
Yeah.
you only had so much ammunition or something.
Or this is like, she's literally got a dodge button you press and she like does like a quick ninja dodge away from it. It's kind of weird. Anyways, so Kojima was making it. Originally, Kojima was going to make a Silent Hill game, right? Remember that?
Yeah,
With
it was
PT?
a PT, right?
Yeah, that turned out to be Silent Hill with Norman Reedus. That all got canceled. But apparently, he wanted to make one anyways, so now they released a trailer called OD.
Do you think that stands for OD that most people would associate or something else?
I don't know.
Because I'm not sure how Overdose would work with that, but
Unless it's like observable demo or something instead of playable teaser.
maybe.
I think it technically had another name too after the OD, and it was like a subtitle, but I don't remember what that was.
Now, I know you just brought up that, the Silent Hill, F game came out,
Yeah.
but he had, like, kind of teased this way before, right?
Maybe, I think so. It's hard to keep track of everything they've been doing, but yeah, maybe.
I mean, I guess that could have also been after Silent Hill F had their trailers. I don't know. I guess you'd have to figure out a timeline.
Whatever the case was, like, it was kind of, yeah, the beginning of the trailer just feels like PT. But
Maybe he just wants to make a horror movie.
he just wants to make movies, and he's got more like actors and actresses in this one, and yeah, one of the main character, I guess, is played by I already don't remember her name, but she was that cute druid from the Dungeons and Dragons movie. So,
But even cuter with shorter hair.
so I was like, oh, I actually recognize that celebrity, because sometimes like in the latest Death Stranding, there's so many celebrities I just don't recognize.
Yeah, fair. Actually, I think, I recognize Guillermo, but that's about it. And Norman Reedus, I guess. Okay, so 2.
So it's just fun to talk about Kojima stuff. It'll be interesting to see what that ends up being, and one day hopefully I can play Death Stranding 2 once it comes to PC. But I guess moving on, we could talk about, how about that rat game? Do you remember what it's called? Winter Burrow, I think?
Something like that. I'm not good at remembering names, whether they're names of people or names of games. But yes.
Yeah, I should have wrote it down. My bad.
It looks adorable. And as we were talking about while or after watching the trailer, it does seem like a little mix of The Long Dark with the survival and the coldness meets Don't Starve with like the art designed for it.
Like a top-down cartoony style, yeah.
Yeah, just thinking of like the art style, but also mixed in a little bit of furry because you're playing as an animal.
Yeah, you're a little mouse and you meet like
Other woodland creatures.
like a squirrel and a frog and I think a possum.
Something like that.
Yeah.
And hopefully there's more.
And it's very cute. The art's really nice. I'd almost say like the art is like cozy, but I don't know
Yeah,
if
I mean, that's
cozy
what
is.
they're going for.
It's like it feels like it's a cozy game, but it's also like there's a little bit of danger. Like,
Yeah, it's a cozy survival. I think they might have literally said that in the trailer.
oh yeah, that makes sense. It looks pretty good.
Yeah, and I'm intrigued. I like cozy games to some extent. I like survival games to some extent. So this is a nice little come together of the two genres.
Yeah, and I like the fact that's like one of the dangers is just the environment, the weather. So like
Yeah, because like you're an animal. That's literally how it works in real life.
so yeah, you have to like sew up some clothing and fix up your house and all that stuff. Yeah, it looks really good. I'm glad you seem to enjoy it too.
Yeah, because you said you had seen a previous trailer and you're like, this doesn't really look like it for me. And then
Yeah.
you watch this trailer and you're like, okay, I'm a little bit more intrigued.
Yeah, that's true.
Although I am curious, since it is a survival game, maybe they won't necessarily have monsters, but are they going to have like other animals that would naturally try to eat a mouse, like owls or something?
We definitely saw a big giant spider.
Oh yeah, the spiders. Okay. So, yeah, I wonder if like at some point you'll be out trying to get through the snow and suddenly you'll just see this giant shadow overhead that's like, oh shit, the owl's coming.
Or a cat or something, yeah.
Anything.
It's like the spider was like, it's bigger than the mouse, but not to the level of a cat or an owl, so it feels more manageable. But something like a cat or an owl, yeah, especially
You
an
have no
owl.
chance.
I mean, owls hunt silently from the sky. Like, how would you react to something like that?
Well, that's why I'm thinking, like, if it was an owl or something, they'd preempt it by, like, a shadow. And if you don't get underneath, like, a log or something, you just die.
I don't know. I mean, it's an interesting thought, but I do wonder how you would incorporate something like that in the gameplay without it feeling kind of... Because, like, that's the whole point of owls. They're kind of OP for what they do.
Yeah, well, who knows?
Anyway, yeah, it looked cute. How about another cute one, sort of, with Palworld making a new game?
I think...
It's called Palworld, I think, Palfarm? Is that what they called it?
Yeah, they weren't, like, super creative, but it's
No,
fine.
it's silly, whatever.
I think I would be more into this than I would be into the original Palworld.
That's fair.
Because, like, it seems, again, it's another cozy game.
Yeah.
And it still has their, like, kind of humor into it.
Yeah.
Because at one point in the trailer, you see, like, this cute little character taking this massive chainsaw, which...
She can barely hold.
Yeah, this is not this is against, like, OSHA regulations or something. She goes and chainsaws down a tree, goes to the next one. She's not even looking at what she's doing. She's, like, looking off into space, completely out of it. And then the second tree she brings down lands on one of the other pals.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not entirely sure if that's, like, something that can happen in the game, but at least in the trailer, it's cute humor.
Yeah.
But there is one aspect of the trailer that has, I don't know, is that, like, another pal, or is that supposed to be a human?
The guy with the gun?
Yeah.
So this trailer was, like, not even 2 minutes long, but, like, around the 1 minute mark, there's suddenly, like, this dark guy with a big grin, and he pulls out a revolver.
And it's got, like, a long fucking barrel.
And he's like, want to play a game? And it's like Russian roulette. He spins it and puts it against his head. And it's like, oh, in this, like, cozy farm building game, suddenly there's this dark little turn. And it's just silly.
Yeah. So
He's a character from Palworld. I think, what do they call him? I think he's a poacher. You can find him out in the world, and he starts off non-hostile. As long as you don't, like, shoot at him, he stays non-hostile, and you can buy, like, expensive pals from him.
Oh, okay.
But if
God
you
forbid
do,
you hit him.
if you do attack him, he'll pull out one of his, like, strong pals and, like, pull out a minigun to fight you.
Oh shit.
So yeah, it's an interesting character. I mean, Palworld itself is an interesting world. Like, you see one of the characters from the game too. I forget her name, but she's like the first boss. People really love her design. She's got, like, this black and pink skirt.
Was she the one that comes out on
top
the,
of
like,
that?
Electro Buzz
Yeah.
pal?
So, like, in the trailer, they were showing, like, your character. It almost looked like they were getting married or something.
Oh, that scene. Yeah, they're going down the aisle and there's pals along the side, like, clapping for them.
And then, like, some of the other pals, like, you can just straight up talk to them. Well, yeah, a lot of them actually just talk. Because, like, there's the
Oh no,
shopkeepers.
now Nintendo's gonna be upset over like Animal Crossing.
Yeah. So it looks like it's, I guess, a farming game with social elements. I don't know how much of a joke it is, like how much story and character interactions are there going to be. Like, they definitely show Anubis, which is an earth type or a ground type.
He's like the blacksmith
Yeah, yeah. And then, like, one of the plant ones is
playing a piano.
and a different one is like selling seeds at a shop or something, maybe.
Oh yeah, maybe a flower shop.
And then there was a funny part where, like, at the end, where the little penguin's like, "Oh, you look like a nice person. I'm a good judge of character. Let's be friends." And then she just takes out the ball and captures him, and he's like running away, like, "Uh-oh."
No.
And it's just a funny idea of, like, what happens in this world if you can talk to Pokemon or whatever, and, like, yeah, let's be friends. But then, like, Pokeball still exists in this world, so.
Which is gonna be weird because, like, okay, fine. In my view, if I can already talk to them and we can already be friends, what's the point of capturing them? So it'll be interesting to see if there is a point or if that was just a funny gag in the trailer.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's probably a little bit of both, because, like, it is a gag. This series does kind of make fun of Pokemon in that way, like, even in the sense that you can use the Pokeballs to capture humans, and that's seen, like, as a big taboo in their world.
Oh, yeah, I guess.
Yeah, like, you can be friends, or you could just force them by capturing them, and it's like, well, that's kind of what you do in Pokemon. You can't really just be friends with them, can you?
Not in the mainstay games, no.
Yeah, true, fair enough. There's probably other games where you can just be friends and not involve Pokeballs. Anyway, that game it'll be fun to see what that turns out to be. I kind of want to go back and play Palworld again someday, but
Well, you're gonna have to do that by yourself, sorry.
well, you didn't think you would like Enshrouded, so.
Yeah, but I still don't think I would like Palworld regular.
To be fair, after playing Enshrouded, it's kind of hard to go back to Palworld, because, like, I played Palworld before Enshrouded, and then Enshrouded right after, and Enshrouded is just a better game, sadly. I don't know, they're different, they're so different, but I just, Enshrouded has more of a draw to it, I guess. Anyways, we'll talk about Enshrouded later. Another trailer that dropped is another teaser for Monster Hunter Stories, and I know I've talked about it, like, 3 times in a row, but this one had some new information. And I'm just so excited about Monster Hunter Stories 3. Like, I think that's probably my most anticipated game at the moment.
Even over Final Fantasy Tactics? Or do you mean like most game that's going to come out in the future?
Honestly, yeah, probably.
Gasp.
I'm excited to play Final Fantasy Tactics too, or Tactics as well, because it's been reviewing well, and the voice work that I've seen has been really good. But Monster Hunter Stories 3 just... It's more Monster Hunter Stories. I loved Monster Hunter Stories too. And it looks to be like a more political story this time around. In 2, it's more like, oh, you meet this girl and she's got this egg and you hatch it and there's something about this little guy that you have to figure out. But this time around, it's like, I guess there's still a little bit of that, but, like, there's also kingdoms and, like, they're at war and they're trying not to be at war and they're trying to come together in some sort of peace thing, but what's happening? And, like, it's cool to see the Monster Hunter world and, like, what kingdoms would be like and how they would interact in this kind of world. Because in the main games, it's just like, well, you're a dude and you're out, like, you know, hunting, and, oh no, there's a rampaging monster, so you go out there and hunt it, whatever. But this time in these games, it's more nuanced with characters and, like, how they live and what they do or whatever, and, like, how kingdoms use them. And it's cool to see, like, oh, some familiar monsters, and, like, the military has them, like, in armor and stuff. Or, like, just seeing, like, mounted knights on them and stuff. I don't know, it's really cool. But yeah, the new trailer showed off a new player character, or not player character, party member. And I guess she looks like a noble, I guess. She's got this, like, red outfit, and she has an Anjanath. I don't know if you remember Anjanath from your short play of Monster Hunter World, but he's that, like, red T-Rex looking thing. He's a fire elemental.
Okay.
And so when she fights with you, she uses the great sword, and she has Anjanath. And, like, the other character we saw was a pink-haired girl, and I forget what weapon she uses, actually, but she has a Tobi Kadachi. And it's, like, all these little hints of, like, ooh, okay, new character, and what they use, and, like, how are you going to factor them into your party and stuff. And it's like, oh, it's just so exciting, and I can't wait to play it. And it's like literally giving me a reason to live until next year.
Oh my god. Well, I don't know how to feel about that, but okay.
I got to make it at least until March of next year to play this. After that, we'll see. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm super excited. And if I could talk about Monster Hunter Stories forever, but that's enough for now.
Well, I guess as long as you're happy, because I was just watching the trailer and I'm like, damn, I really don't give a shit about this.
You don't give a shit about a lot of stuff, though.
Yeah, but then I'm liking all the indie games that you couldn't give a shit about, so I guess we're even.
Do you have any indie games you want to talk about?
Well, I don't know if it counts as an indie game, but it made me think of the other trailer that we watched of Let It Die.
Oh, well, I wouldn't say Let It Die is an indie game, but yes, we can talk about Let It Die. I forget what the sequel is. Like, it's not Let It Die 2, it's like Let It Die...
Inferno.
Inferno, okay, yes, thank you, it's a subtitle. Now, I don't think we've ever talked about Let It Die in this podcast.
No, because you played it, like, years before we started this.
Yeah, I think it was on... I forget if I played it on PS4 or PS3, but it was a free-to-play game. You can technically play it on Steam as well.
Yeah, I technically downloaded it on Steam, but I never really played it.
It's a hard game. Its gimmick is like something happened to the world, and now there's like this weird tower popping out of Tokyo, and it's just like a jumbled mess of buildings. It's kind of like the Tartarus in a way. Mm. The first level is like subways and like weird back rooms, and eventually you get to a part where it's like more inner city. And I got up to the part where it kind of looked like a theme park.
I don't remember how far you got. I remember certain things. I love the music of the Mushroom Cellar. And I'm pretty sure that's where I learned of the kero kero, the little frog, and he would make the noise of kero kero, kero kero. And then I realized, oh, that's the word for frog in Japanese.
Wasn't there also like a thing about like ugly frogs make kero kero and like good frogs make gero gero?
Oh,
or
yeah,
something like that?
There's like something about just how they pronounce it. Or maybe it's like frogs versus toads or something. Something like that.
But yeah, in this game, it was kind of like a
roguelite?
Sort of, kind of. You make a character, and as you're going through this world, you pick up armor or can make armor and weapons, and it's just a lot of makeshift stuff. You can eventually get guns, but that's kind of like later on. In the beginning, like some of the things you were using are just like bats and planks and even like a fireworks shooter, which was actually a pretty handy weapon.
Apparently that came back.
Yeah. It was hard. For lack of a better word, whatever. It's almost like a Souls-like where you have to like, the combat is not super forgiving and you have to like be careful and dodge and stuff. But if you ever died, you have the potential of losing the character. Once you die, the character becomes like this zombie and you have to start with another character. Now, I don't think the characters, I forget how the levels work, but you could go back into the dungeon with a different character, and if you find your character's corpse, it's basically like a zombie, and you have to like fight it. If you can beat them, you can get your character back. If you don't, you lose them. So that's like the gimmick of it. Like,
now the character has stats, I'm assuming, or is it just like the looks of the character?
It definitely has equipment, so the equipment affects your stats. I don't remember if like you level up necessarily, because it feels like if you lose a high level character, how are you going to get them back with a new character? I don't remember, it's been so long, but that basically was the gimmick. Like if a character dies, you can go back and fight it and like get it back, and you'll also run into other players. Like if they die, you'll run into their characters too, so that's always like a tricky thing because the player characters are way stronger than the normal enemies. But the thing about Let It Die, it was free to play. This new one is not going to be free to play.
Yeah, I think the basic was, what, $25?
Yeah, which honestly is probably a good thing, because I remember in the original, it got so grindy. And it's like, oh, you could pay money to have, like, certain things to make it less of a pain in the ass to play. So if this one gets rid of that and it's just, like, more balanced, that would be way better.
Yeah, so it seemed like the original was free to play, but they had microtransactions.
Yeah.
Whereas this one, hopefully, you can buy the base game, but there's no microtransactions. So it all depends on what kind of style you prefer.
Yeah, I'm all for just buying the game and not dealing with any of that stuff.
Even though you've played plenty of free-to-plays and never actually spent money on them?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, there are times I think I kind of wonder what it would be like to jump back into Genshin Impact. But there was also a lot of like MiHoYo games on display. They made we're not gonna go into it, but they're basically making like a Pokemon game where you collect monsters and they fight in an auto battler.
Oh, yeah, it's like what someone described as like a chess setup almost. Like they're like on this field and they're in all these different positions.
Yeah, it's like a Dota auto battler. I think Dota made an auto battler, and a bunch of companies made some auto battlers back in the day when those were like
The thing.
the thing. Yeah, it's like you have like 3 or 4 monsters. You put them down, and they just automatically fight. I guess that's their way of getting around the Pokemon thing. It's like you're still collecting monsters, but they fight different. They're also making a cozy farming game. I didn't show you the trailer of that because I didn't think you'd be interested.
Yeah, I think I'm quote unquote good enough with the Palworld Palfarm.
Yeah, the MiHoYo's definitely got like their very anime style. Like,
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
yeah, that's why I figured I wouldn't even show you because I know you wouldn't have anything nice to say. So why even say anything? But anyways, getting back to Let It Die, the new one looks way more colorful, and I guess the gimmick this time instead of the tower, it's like a hole in the ground. So it's like the inverse. I don't know if there's any story connection to the first one. I mean,
Other than you're traveling down into hell, I guess.
yeah, and Uncle Death is there again, which is like the skateboarding death guy.
He's like the best part. But when they had I guess, two of the creators or two of the devs talking about it, one of them had an Uncle Death mask, but it was atrocious.
Yeah, it was way too loose. It just looked like a gorilla skull. It was funny.
Yeah, they should have made him like. Who's the guy that comes out with like the moon mask or helmet?
Oh, I forget his name. But yeah, the guy that does Nier Automata.
Yeah, they should have made him an Uncle Death mask, but like in paper mache form. That would have been way better.
Like, actually make a really good skull mask.
Yeah, this was just sad.
It was just a floppy
This was
mess.
offensive to Uncle Death.
I never really, because I didn't get to beat Let It Die, I never figured out what his deal was. But yeah, it'll be fun to play if it's only $25, I mean, hell, that's so cheap for a new game. We'll see if my computer can handle it. I know Let It Die is on Steam. I don't remember if the trailer said it was coming to Steam. It's definitely coming to Sony, but we'll see. I guess that was all of the trailers I want to talk about. I mean, there was a bunch of other stuff that we're not going to talk about. Shooters, the Wolverine game.
Yes, not for us.
Korean MMOs, etc., whatever.
You'll have to go somewhere else for that commentary of those trailers.
Still a lot of exciting stuff, but yeah, we can move on to a different exciting news thing, sort of.
Yeah. So while we were playing Enshrouded, or just before, or around the same time, you had mentioned that someone had come out with a mod loader for Enshrouded.
Somebody's developed modding tools, yeah, right? Is that what it is? Modding tools?
It's, I don't completely understand the jargon of modding stuff at the moment, but it seems like you can extract bits of the game and then also inject bits of the game. So I guess, yeah, that would count as like the modding aspect. I figured we'd talk about, some mod ideas at the very least. And, apparently the modding injector uses the programming language Lua. And that's supposed to be really easy, so maybe I'll look more into that, but...
Yeah, because modding, I mean, we are big proponents of modding video games.
Oh, here. Hell yeah.
And, like, it adds so much replayability and customization to games. Like,
and quality of life.
Yeah, even to games that, like, don't support it. Like, freaking Breath of the Wild. Or Fire Emblem Engage. Like, I loved modding those games. But then, obviously, you got games like Fallout and Skyrim that are just mod heaven.
I mean, yeah, because if it wasn't for mods, I don't think Skyrim would still be going after, 13 years at this point?
Yeah, modding is so integral to that game.
No, 14.
Even when they release it on consoles, they include modding support now. So yeah, like, it's cool that Enshrouded they're not official modding tools, but like that's how it starts half the time. People just mess around. Like for Monster Hunter World, that doesn't have any official modding tools, but even I made mods for Monster Hunter. So it's going to be fun to see what people can do for Enshrouded. And just as a quick refresher, Enshrouded is basically an open world survival RPG game.
Yeah.
Imagine like Breath of the Wild, except kind of like a Western look to it.
Western, like kind of medieval.
Yeah.
almost Germanic, I guess, with how some of the wood paneling for the houses can be. I think that's a German-like structure.
And it's just, yeah, it's just a fun game. You roam around, find treasure, build stuff. You can find NPCs to talk to and do quests for, and make them homes, and find notes of people long dead in this weird world. It's just a lot of fun. But like, there's obviously stuff that when we're playing, we're like, oh, I wish we could change this or that. Even yesterday when we were playing, I was like, I wish this UI element for the frost wasn't so obnoxious. Now, I ended up finding out you can just go into the settings to change that.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, like, if it wasn't, it would probably be pretty easy to go in and, like, just change a number somewhere.
But that was even like that. It was like, oh, I wish I could change that. And it's like, okay, that's a thing. But there are some things you can't change in game. So, yeah, we can talk about, like, some mods that you would love to see. Or I guess you can go first since you got a whole list over here.
Yeah, I was just coming off of ideas while playing the game. So I'll try to go slow. I'll come up with the idea and see what you think. So the first one I came up was skins for animals.
Skins? Oh, as in looks?
Yeah, I have this thing where if you're making an animal or resource or whatever, make like 5 different skins and randomize it.
Fair enough.
Just to give some variety. Whereas like the oxes are all the same. There's no change. All the chickens are the same. Everything is the same.
I guess it depends on the animal, because some animals they all kind of look the same. But I guess the more you domesticate an animal, the more chances are that you're going to see like a variety of them. But like if you have a Rhode Island red hen, they basically all look the same, right?
I mean, I guess, but even like a very small variation of the red, maybe one is going to be more brighter, a little bit brighter red feathering. And maybe one will be a little bit more brown feathering.
Yeah, I guess the thing with the chicken, though, is like, oh, you would have the Rhode Island red, but then you would also have the classic white with the red little gibbly gook thing on it. What are those things called?
I don't remember, but yeah, the red bit.
Yeah, or like a speckled chicken. So yeah, you'd have like a bunch of different ones. So they don't all look the same. I get that. I definitely have one for our animals, that if you don't mind me saying.
Go ahead.
Because if I could mod something about the animals, I would mod it so that they don't run after you. Because for some reason, they made it so that when you go into wherever your animals are, and you better have them penned up, because if you don't, they're just going to be running all over the place. But they run to you. I guess it's to be like, oh, look, they got stuff for you now. They're ready to be milked, or they have eggs, or whatever.
Well, they just want to be pet.
But like in our little ranch area, we have... Granted, maybe we have too many of the big bison. I could probably remove a few of them. But even if we only had like 2 or 3, they would still like rush up to you. And they're big animals. I'm not lying. One point, they got me stuck on a wall because they were like both trying to get at me and I couldn't get out. So like I think
it is a problem with not having enough space, because if you ever go and see like cows, they will all come over and see what's going on. That's just how they act.
Yeah, but they should at least walk. They literally run to you. All of the animals do. And when we have like 12, 15 animals, all of them running at you is...
terrifying.
Annoying. So I would want to make the mod where they just don't have that behavior, that they would ignore you, that you can walk up to them, so that they just wander around and do their own thing and not just like constantly run towards you.
That's fair.
But yeah, that would be like the one thing I would change. Because like as it is now, the best time to go visit the animals is when they're sleeping at night. Because they're all in their bed and you can go collect all the stuff. And they're not just like bum rushing you and you have like 12 animals just crowding you.
Actually, that's an interesting idea, at least for in the case of the chickens, is the chicken shouldn't come up to you and say, oh, look, I got eggs for you. You should be picking them out of the nest, because that's just how it actually works.
Yeah, true. I guess the thing for this game, though, is like they don't differentiate the nest for the birds or the goats.
Yeah, I guess you'd have to make special chicken nests where they roost.
Yeah, that would probably be better, though, honestly. And that way you could be like, okay, these are the chicken nests, and these are the ones for the goats. Because the bison or the yaks, they have their own because they're so big. But that definitely would be good, because like I think they have like a stack that they can get to, and once they get to a certain stack level, they don't produce more until you collect from them.
I mean, that makes sense for the wool from the yaks and the milk from the goats.
I think that would be the one thing I change about the animals.
Okay. All right. The next one would be change how honey works, because this is dumb as hell.
Yeah, I agree.
there are beehives that you can create at a certain point in the game. Mm-hmm. And instead of just putting the beehives somewhere where there's flowers and the bees would just generate honey, you have to, for some reason, what are the two ingredients? It's sugar and what, water or something?
Yeah.
That's not how honeybees work.
I think what the problem with what they did was they treated it as a production thing, because like every other production thing in the game, you have to
in items and something.
You go to it and like you put coal and iron to make steel, and it like takes time to make steel. Or you go to the loom and put in the linen to make linen cloth, right? And it's like, I guess they thought the same for the beehive. You go to the beehive and do the thing to make the process. But what it should be, it should act more like the water wheel, or not the water wheel, sorry, the water well, where you go to the water well and you can just draw water. Now, it has a limit. I don't know if you've tried this, but like after a while, if you keep drawing water, it's going to be like there's no more water left. You got to wait.
No, I've only drawn it from it twice, and I think it's, 5 or 6 each time?
It's 5 each time, yeah.
I've only done it twice, so I've never gotten to the like, oh, it ran out of water, which also, I don't know if, yeah, obviously if you go to a well and you're taking out like 1,000 gallons, I guess that would obviously reach a limit.
I think I'm just saying that that system already exists in the game, where this furniture piece will give you the item you want, which is in this case water, but it'll run out. So you could do that with the beehive. The beehive would be like, act like that, where you would just go and get like honey. But then, like, eventually it would run out and be like, okay, you got to give them more time to make bees, for the bees to make honey. I think that's what would be a good way to...
I mean, even technically the animals work like that. They'll only make so many eggs or so much milk, and then if you don't pick it, they're not going to produce any more.
Yeah, true. Even that would be... Because when an animal has production, like, you walk up to it and you'll see, like, oh, it has, like, this number of eggs or this number of milk that you can harvest. So that could be a thing too, where it could be treated like an animal or whatever.
Because yeah, the hive only has so much space. It's not going to produce honey indefinitely.
Yeah, that makes sense. So that would be way better, because like as long as there's flowers around, and I made sure to put flowers around just decoratively, they should be producing their own honey and the wax.
Yeah, actually having the requirement for having flowers around would be kind of nice. I mean, I guess
that's going to complicate the programming.
Yeah, I that's fair, and I guess you could argue, well, they'll just go further, but I don't know how far bees would go from their hive before they just give up trying to find honey or flowers.
Yeah, I would say just letting them automatically make honey would be good enough without having to complicate things with the flower check.
Fair.
But yeah,
so that would be nice.
I definitely agree with that one. Since you brought up one, let me bring up another one.
Oh, okay.
I would really like to see the NPCs do a little more... Well, I guess specifically the farmer NPC, because some of the NPCs are just useless. But the farmer, I would like to be able to be like, hey, can you make sure I always have like this growing? Because like when you plant stuff, and
before
then
you go too far, I saw this brought up in the modding thread, and the people that make Enshrouded have plans to bring this into the game at some point.
Oh, well, great.
So
that's the thing about mods too. Like you never know when it's going to just be an official thing that gets added. Like even the honey thing might change it. Well, it probably won't, but
there's always the chance.
Yeah, because like there is an NPC that's literally called the farmer, and like I have him set up that he's at the farm, but he doesn't really do farming. We still have to do all the work.
Just a copy of the first lady.
Yeah,
the main NPC.
But what I would really like is to be like, okay, if I collect like flax, for example, because we use a lot of flax. It would be nice if he automatically like took some of it and like planted it down, so I didn't have to like go to the thing and make flax seeds and then wait for it and then go out and plant it. I just want to be able to be like, hey, you're the farmer, we're giving you room and board, how about you handle that, so that I can just have the flax when I need it, or the tomatoes, or the corn, or whatever.
Yeah, someone in the thread brought up automation, and I think that was connected to that. So.
Oh, thank goodness. That would be great. That's definitely something I would
love to see.
We'll have to see
if the Enshrouded devs have, like, a plan sheet of, like, what they're planning for updates and stuff.
And it'll be interesting to see how they do it, because, like, on one hand, I'm saying all this, but it's kind of also nice to be able to build the farm how I want it. So, like, how would an NPC even do that? I don't know. I guess they would have like a special furniture or a plot that specifically they take care of. But as it is now, we just kind of plant wherever we want. And I've been, I made the little farm area, but then I've also been using the big farm. we got like a big field of wheat and corn out there.
Oh, yeah.
And the pumpkins are growing out there too. So it's like, how would that work with the farmer? Like,
I
how
mean,
would he know where to plant it?
I could think of ways, but the programming for that would probably be very complicated.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I guess for me, the thing would be like maybe set up a section of the land where the farmer checks, okay, there's corn and tomatoes and flax growing here. I'm going to always make sure that there's that growing where you put it. But he'll also like just every so often generate the flax, like because he's picking and replanting it or whatever in a chest nearby. I don't know. I guess it'll be interesting to see how they figure it out. It's definitely a complicated thing to
think about. And
yeah,
program.
it's one thing to think of the idea, and then the other, how the execution.
Yes. Now, this one's going to be more for those of us that go into the hunter tree. Because at some point, you can... I think the first skill you get is that you can unlock a skill where animals will just kind of ignore you as you run around. So the animals will not aggro on you. You can walk around. There will be spiders, and they'll just like kind of look at you, chitter, and then like walk around or whatever. I think one or two skills beyond that, you can unlock the ability that the animals can now guard you. So if someone else attacks you in, I guess, like a 50-meter radius or whatever it is, the animals can fight for you. Now, it's not automatic. When you go up to a wild animal and they're just kind of looking up at you, you'll get this prompt that says start guarding.
Huh.
And you can activate it. It's really easy. There's nothing to it. But the only problem is that because seemingly it only works for 50 meters or whatever, the bases where the angry NPCs attack you, or the shroud or whatever, is never close to where these animals are.
Yeah, it's way too situational.
So unless you're getting an animal to guard you and then like purposely go out and try to drag one of the angry NPCs to the area, that guarding never works because the animal doesn't follow you. And I would prefer, if possible, again, this the idea, but how do you program this? If you select an animal to guard you, then they should just follow you.
Yeah.
That way you can actually bring the helper animal to wherever the NPC camps are, and it would actually fucking work. But otherwise, it's kind of a useless skill.
It is, yeah.
They're not close to whatever. So if one day I learn how to do Lua, the best I could probably do real quick is just change the numbers. So instead of only guarding in a 50-meter circle, maybe it's 250. So at least you can get to like the next camp or something.
What if instead of increasing the number, you change the behavior or give them the behavior of the farm animals? Because the farm animals, they fucking chase after you. They will follow you across your base if you let them. I've been walking around the base and like just noticed the cat is like following me. It's like, oh, okay, great. And that's like, well, you know, that's what pets do. That makes sense. But like, what if you could attach that to the animal you quote unquote tamed?
That would be great, but I'm saying I don't really know how programming Lua works right now.
Yeah.
So changing a number would be far easier than changing a behavior. If I got to that point, then yes, absolutely. But I can't make any promises.
It's tricky with taming stuff too, because then some people will like get attached and sad if the animal dies in battle, and which is probably will.
Well, that's just something you're going to have to deal with. That's how the world works.
Yeah.
Okay, another one, and to be fair to the devs, I'm sure this is already on their list. Just more decor. There's like only so much, and like especially the stuff that has more comfort, it to me most of it feels too gaudy.
The carpenter does have a ton of stuff you can make. And there's also like a ton of stuff I just don't make, I guess. And I know the alchemist can make like books and stuff. Every crafter has like decoration stuff, but yeah, it's like, do I want to make a bunch of books? Do I want to make a steel fence?
Yeah.
A lot of the decorations are just like vases, and I guess the farmer lady has a bunch of planted pots. Those are pretty easy to make. We can make more of those.
Yeah, and she's got the flower boxes, which are
I already
great
put a
if
few
you have
around.
enough windows, but usually it seems that's mostly for windows. But I don't know, maybe you could place them on the ground too. It's just different decor, I guess.
Yeah,
Another one, more animals. Again, it's just me with needing variety.
that's fair. What kind of animals are we missing? We got the chickens with
Pigs.
the eggs now. Oh.
I mean, they had the place that we made our home. it seemed like the barn had a section, full of the poopy slop, and it was like, well,
Mud.
yeah, the mud. So like, wouldn't that be where the
What would you get
piggies-
from the pigs? Meat or like truffles?
Yeah, I guess we could do a Stardew Valley and do truffles or something,
Because yeah, we definitely use mushrooms in the game.
or mushroom. Yeah.
There's like one of the recipes I want to use is like provides a bunch of intelligence and mana regain, and that requires, what is it called, chatronella, the yellow mushrooms.
Something like that. Yeah.
So it'd be nice to be like, oh, these can just randomly find mushrooms for you.
Oh, and that's another thing that it made me think of, like, as far as more farm animals gathering things and stuff like that. Get the animals to, even some of your farm animals if you want, to, like, follow you.
They do though.
No, I mean, like, out on an adventure.
Oh, gotcha.
Like, you can collect dogs. There's 3 dogs, I think, to collect.
Yeah.
Cats probably wouldn't give a shit, but dogs would probably follow you.
And most of the farm animals are, well, they're prey animals. Whenever you find them in the wild, they run away.
True,
They don't want to fight.
but the yak could be used as a beast of burden. You can, fill them full of supplies and stuff, or put a
Oh.
bag on them. That would work.
Almost like Torchlight and just send them home with the stuff.
Well, I would assume they would stay with you. They wouldn't go off on their own. But if you're traveling and you need, I want to carry a bunch of more shit with me, well, then put a bag on a yak and bring it along.
I guess, as long as you're not like fast traveling to a tower, because then you're just going to be stuck up there.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's going to be some give and take with using an animal like that.
Yeah.
But that would be a fun idea. And I think the last one is better clothing colors, because holy shit, the colors don't work. There's the clothing palette, and for each color, it's like they show 3 colors. So I thought it would be that the 3 colors would show up on the clothing item, given like, okay, the red's in the corner, so that'll be applied to this section of the boot. And the white is the main big part, so that'll get applied to the biggest part of the boot or whatever. But like, it only colors one part, and it's so fucking muted that everything just kind of looks the same. I don't understand what the concept behind that is.
I think that was just something they added real quick without much thought, because
I
like
guess.
it
Are
wasn't
they-
part of the game when I played originally.
I'm thinking like the size of the 3 colors on there are how much of that color is being used but mixed together. Because if I pick one that has mostly the white and a little bit of black and a little bit of red, when it gets applied to a boot, it only does one section of the boot, and it mostly comes out of gray.
I noticed for the armor I created for this section of the game that has the frost protection, like a lot of it, when I go to dye it, it's mostly just, it changes the color of the gem. It's like, well, okay, whatever. I'm not going to bother then.
Yeah, and like, I tried to select black, but they always come out gray. It's like, that's not black. That's not the dark black I'm looking for. That's not the dark black that it's showing me. So they need to rework that entire thing, I think.
Yeah, I guess. It's hard. I know from experience that, like, when you were able to change a color on the fly, because Monster Hunter does this. And when I was modding Monster Hunter armors, one of the textures files, I forget what it was called, but it basically designated a part of the texture where, like, the game could change the color on the fly. But the thing is, like, that changes kind of how it looks, where it loses some of the detail from the texture file. I don't know why. Maybe it's just the way Monster Hunter did it, but apparently, I don't know. Apparently it can be kind of tricky. It just depends on all the engines too. Like, maybe Monster Hunter's engine was just not good at that, but I know it can be complicated. It's not as easy as it seems, I guess, is all I'm saying.
But those were my main ideas for mods. Do you have any other mod ideas that you thought up that I didn't?
I would love... Well, I was going to say I would love a mod that shows you which of the sparks you have collected. But I guess those just respawn anyways. So I guess it doesn't matter. I guess I would like to add a way for you to be able to get warm when you're in the cold areas. Because it kind of doesn't make sense that you can't, like, build a fire to, like, at least stop the draining.
Yeah, that's fair.
I guess they don't want it to be OP where you just, like, build a fire and recharge and then just keep adventuring. But, like, isn't that kind of the point? Especially if you're, like, indoors. If you find, like, a house or something that's cold, but, like, you put a fire in there. I don't know. It's a tricky balance, too. But I guess I don't mind making cheaty things. Oh, you know what? I do have one that is kind of I would love somebody to mod in a gem forge or something, because
Oh yeah.
I just don't want to go find one out in the wild.
And
like,
maybe just more gems in general, because we got like 3 types, but we have like fucking 10 of each.
Yeah, I think I found a couple gems that were like sound really good, but I just don't have the weapons to put them into right now. So I don't know. I guess the gem system could be reworked a bit. That's also a thing that wasn't in the original game. And like now you have to collect the gem goop from those like eyeball monsters, and it's like, oh god, it's just
Actually, yeah, a gem crafter would make sense.
yeah. Honestly, that would be a good NPC. I think there's still one NPC we need to collect, but there might be more too. So I don't know. I've been trying to make sure that next time you play that you have all the materials you need to build your armor, but also like collected most of the stuff we needed to upgrade the flame altar. We just need to find the enshrouded Cyclops guy, not the regular ones, and then I think we'll be able to upgrade a flame. So yeah, I guess that's all. It's been fun playing, and I can't wait to play more. I just keep wanting to play more Enshrouded. It's been fun exploring the new area, the snowy mountainous area that wasn't in the game when I first played it.
And I do like how I predicted that they were just going to reuse how the sand works and make it white. And that's exactly basically what they did. So
Kind of. The snow has a different mechanic too, where like in the sand you can just run. It's fine.
True, it does slow you down, which makes sense.
It slows you down.
Sand should kind of do that too, to some extent.
The
Maybe
snow
not
is
as much.
definitely slower to walk through than sand.
I guess it depends on how deep each of them. Because, like, on sand, if you go to the beach, yeah, you'll sink a little bit and it'll be harder to run, but not that much. Whereas if you're in snow and it looks like it's between our knees and our hips, yeah, that would be absolutely...
Yeah, walking in
if
snow
it was
can be slow.
If it was the same amount of snow versus sand, I think it would be equal. So, I don't know.
I don't know. I guess I've never walked in deep sand dunes.
The other thing, though, actually, now that you bring it up, it's weird to me that the cold overlay, where it starts counting down, doesn't activate in areas where you're walking through this steep snow. Like, I don't know if you've ever walked through snow. That shit is cold.
Yeah.
That should activate that overlay in the countdown.
I guess it's just like it's certain zones that trigger that.
No, I get it, but I think if they can program it, that would be more realistic. Because I've walked, if you're out and there's no snow, and especially if there's no wind, there's not a huge difference between 40 degrees Fahrenheit and, say, 20 degrees Fahrenheit. If there's wind, then absolutely there is. But if you're walking in snow, you're going to be fucking cold, even with armor on. Especially if it's metal armor. That would just make it even worse. So, I think that could use a little bit of a tweak. But it's a new area. They're still working on the game. It's fine.
Yeah, and then next month we're going to get the new area, which is more tropical and...
Water.
Yeah.
I've been seeing some people they're like, oh, does it look like I'm getting ready for water physics? And they got like moats all like dug out and stuff.
Yeah. That'll be fun to see how that works out. Because yeah, like this game just does not have water. It has ice. Now it has ice, but even that was a new thing. So it's like...
Oh, and you can't roll on that, right?
You can roll, but you just don't get the burst of movement like you would on the regular ground because the friction and the movement
Yeah, that
is just,
makes sense. You're just slipping everywhere.
Yeah. So I was trying to dodge like this wyvern thing, and just I couldn't dodge because I was on the ice. I was rolling nowhere and getting hit.
Well, that sounds pretty good for this week, I think.
Yeah.
We went over some trailers, we went over Enshrouded stuff, and mod ideas.
Mods are always fun to talk about. And that's like the reason I get stuff on PC when I can. That's why I'm going to get Final Fantasy Tactics on PC, because if there's mods for that, I definitely want to be able to mod it. I can already see things I want to mod in Final Fantasy Tactics, and it's not even out yet. Same for Monster Hunter Stories 3. Like, I can't wait not only to play that, but like to see what kind of mods we can toy around. Because I know Monster Hunter Stories 2 also has mods, but I never really toyed around with them too much, so...
So I'll look in slowly over time to see if I can learn how Lua works. Supposedly it's supposed to be a pretty good language. The only complaint I've ever heard is that it's not zero index, but that's a goofy thing.
I don't know what that means.
Don't worry. So if you're a modder and you're listening, if you know how to mod these ideas, please mod them. It would be great. I'll see what I can do, but it's mostly going to be changing numbers at first, so feel free to take these ideas. And I think we'll leave it there for this week. What do you think?
Yeah, I guess so. It's It's always kind of sad when the podcast ends because that means we have to get up and go do other stuff when I just want to sit here and cuddle.
Poor you. Well, we'll see you guys next week, and we love you, and
Take care. Bye-bye.